Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully, you guys are all doing very, very well today. I'm looking to see if they have some kind of good music on here. Want some kind of background music? Some background music, man. What's going on? I like this. Yeah, that's good, right? That's good right there, right? Yeah, I kind of like that. We'll dig with that. We'll dig with that. Some nice background music. Man, I really got to shave, bro. Holy crap! Like looking at that, like I got to shave. Gotta shave, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Adrian, Carlos? How you guys doing? So yeah, we're just gonna have like a little discussion, man. This is like a little podcast thing, man. I didn't want to do a full-on video today, but I wanted to discuss a lot of stuff going on in the world of DC and so on. So we're just gonna kind of discuss here in a group. You guys can feel free to chime into the discussion, of course. And we're gonna talk about the overall slate and everything that's gonna be coming out. Danny, what's up, bruh? Sent you some clips about some things, no response. You went dark, bruh. Dude, I don't remember getting anything. I'll check my phone, but I mean I wasn't doing too good, man. Like last weekend was my birthday. I canceled going to see the game with Chris. I stayed home all 3 days. I requested off from work. I had like ice packs on my leg, heating pad on my knee. My knee, it was just horrible, bro. And then we didn't do anything on Storms Live on Sunday. And this week I had like a really bad sore throat. I've been taking antibiotics. So, dude, ever since I got that, I was talking to my girl, and I was like, ever since I got that COVID shot, man, I have been more sick now than I ever been in my life. Normally I get sick like once or twice a year. I feel like every 2 months I'm sick, man. Like really sick, where I need to go to the hospital or antibiotics and stuff like that. And I never felt that way until I got that COVID shot. So I don't know if that means anything, but I will check my phone, Danny. How are you doing, buddy? I know Anzo messaged me. He's like, bro, you okay? How come you didn't do Storms Live yesterday? I'm like, oh man, it was my birthday, bro. I didn't want to do anything, you know? Don't trust the shot. Yeah, possibly should have never. Yeah. I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Do. They added all kinds of different features to StreamYard now. It's kind of crazy when you look at it. But whoa, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Okay, so we got the new DC Slay here, and we're gonna just kind of like go over some of the stuff. They don't really have so we're gonna talk about the backlash and everything that's going on, right? I'm really looking forward to Paradise Island. So there's not a lot of the shows that I'm looking forward to. Right, there's not a lot of shows that I'm looking forward to. That's completely different. But there's not really a lot of the shows that I'm looking forward to. Paradise Island and the Green Lanterns are the two that I'm looking forward to. It's Green Lanterns and the Paradise Lost. I'm looking forward to those. As for the Batman Brave and the Bold, I'm very much looking forward to it. This feature film will take influence from Grant Morrison's Batman run. I do like Grant Morrison's run. I like Scott Snyder's Batman more, but I'm really looking forward to the Batman run with Grant Morrison dealing with Damian Wayne and Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul and all that great stuff, man. I'm down for that. Booster Gold, I really don't care about. I could take it or leave Booster Gold. I wasn't a big fan of Booster Gold in the comics or in Smallville. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, I'm very much looking forward to. It says this film would be based off Tom King's run of the comic book. So let's look up Tom King's run of Supergirl, because I used to own every Supergirl comic book. So I want to see what exactly Tom King's run is. Because I think that might be the newest stuff, huh? Yeah, I think it might be the newest stuff. I guess I got some reading to do. Because Tom King, this must be new. This must all be new. The Tom King stuff. Because the last issues I read of Supergirl was, and I had every issue of Supergirl, like every issue of Supergirl going back from the early days. And my favorite, of course, were the oh my god, Michael Turner covers. I love those, which they actually turned that into a comic book. If you watch, or into a movie, if you watch Batman, Superman Apocalypse, I think it is. That's the Supergirl show. But so this was the New 52 Supergirl, which was good. I didn't too much care for it all that much. It featured Brain, so that was pretty cool. Then this was the Rebirth one. I tried my damnedest to get into this. I could not get into the Rebirth Supergirl comics for nothing. I had all of them, and I just couldn't get into it. I even had these. Well, I don't know why I just clicked into the big thing, but I even had the old school one. Here's the Michael Turner Supergirl. I really enjoy Michael Turner Supergirl. And like I said, there's an animated movie out, and it has the basic storyline of that, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And then it goes into these type of issues and stuff, and it was really, really good overall. Really had a great time. So I'm not too familiar with the Tom King stuff, but I'm willing to give it like DC's new slate actually has me interested in wanting to go back and read some of this stuff, because I didn't know anything about this Tom King run, and I'm a massive fan of Supergirl. I've always enjoyed Supergirl as a character, and I was a big fan of the show up until the end of season 3, basically when what was, anybody know the guy's name? The love interest. It wasn't Win, right? Like Win? No. Oh my god, the love interest, guys, in Supergirl. Before they switched. I want to say it's Win, right? Like he was in season 1, season 2, and then I think he left at the end of season 3, and then they replaced him with that Brainiac fucker guy. And that's when I stopped watching the show. But he was supposed to have the main love interest with her, and then they made it Jimmy Olsen, and whatever. I like Jimmy Olsen. I don't think he needs to be a love interest in Supergirl. And I didn't even like when he started fighting crime. That was weird too. It all sounds like garbage. Why is everybody hating, man? Why is everybody hating? Like, I literally had a conversation with Adam, and Adam's like, nothing excites me. It's right here. Dave's like, not really excited for Booster Gold or the Younger Adventures of Superman. They didn't say they were doing the Younger Adventures of Superman. They said they're doing Superman Legacy. They never said anything about Superman Legacy. People are putting words in the mouths of people, right? Superman Legacy. It doesn't say the Younger Adventures of Superman. Yes, they're gonna have a younger Superman. That doesn't mean it's bad at all, because you know who was a younger Superman? Tom Welling Smallville. You know what else was a younger Superman, and it was the best Superman ever? This Superman right here. Best version of Superman is this Superman right here. And I guess I didn't even show you guys. Best version of Superman is Superman Earth 1 right here. Right? This is literally the day he becomes Superman. It's what Man of Steel should have been if Man of Steel had competent writing. Because full disclosure, I very much like Man of Steel. It took a while for me to get into it, right? It took me a few watches before I finally settled down what it was, but that's because I was comparing it to the greatness that is JMS's Superman Earth 1. This is a phenomenal story, right? This is a story of Clark Kent realizing he's an alien. An alien race comes down to Earth looking to destroy the last son of Krypton, and he does not want to put on that suit. He does not want to be a superhero. He does not want to be a symbol for the world, but he knows that his father, Jonathan Kent, he knows that was something that he always dreamt for him to be better, and he becomes the world's savior and takes out the alien race. If you have not read this comic book, it is phenomenal. And then you had 2 more volumes after that, where he fights Parasite, and then I think Zod was the 3rd volume. I don't remember. This is the alien race that he takes on in the first one. So I push back against you on that one, Danny, or a younger Adventures of Superman, because you're making it sound corny in that statement. I'm not looking forward to a younger Adventures of Superman. You're making it sound corny because that's not what he said. He said we're doing a Superman legacy movie. They're gonna have to add a new Superman. All right, it's common sense. Henry Cavill, I believe, is like late 40s, getting in the 50s, right? They need to cast a younger Superman. They're gonna take Superman, and I have every faith that James Gunn is gonna take Superman and do what they did with Captain America in the MCU. Right? Everybody said you can't do Captain America. He's just this Boy Scout, right? Superman's the same thing. Big blue Boy Scout. Oh my God. They're going to make Superman the DC's version of Captain America. You need to hire a younger actor to do so. I'm not saying you're going to sit there. Is Henry Cavill in his late 30s? I thought, no. I thought Henry Cavill was up there in age, buddy. I thought Henry Cavill was up there in age. Oh, shit. I'm the same age as Henry Cavill. Well, damn. Well, he's hitting 40. He's hitting 40. All right, guys, I said 39, man. All right, damn. Stop coming at me. I said 39. All right, look, I looked it up. All right. Still, you want look. Here's the thing, man. You all are sad that Henry Cavill's gone. I'm sad Henry Cavill's gone. Let's not damper the experience of something possibly being better if we're sitting here crying about it. You know, look. No one wanted Andrew Garfield after Tobey Maguire, right? Oh, Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. People are still saying that. You know what? I love Andrew Garfield more than Tobey Maguire, right? And then when Andrew Garfield left, I was like, damn, I want Andrew Garfield back. We never got the third movie. And then Tom Holland came out. And then Tom Holland is a really damn good Spider-Man. You know, we can have different versions of these characters. Let's not put our like crap in a box and say, no, we're not going to deal with this because of that. You know, like, come on, man, give it a fair shakeup. Give it a fair shakeup. And I think they can do something very, very, very special with this new iteration of Superman. I think so. And where was Chris? Chris said it all sounds like garbage to me. Well, you don't like. Are you a DC fan? I mean, how could this slate sound like garbage, man? We're getting a new Superman movie. We're getting Batman Brave and the Bold with Damian Mother effing Wayne, right, as Robin. We had not had a Batman and Robin movie, unless you count Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which are absolutely dog crap. Okay, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin is absolute dog feces. Okay, we had not had a legit Batman and Robin, and the fact they're making Damian Wayne as the Robin, like, yes, man, come on, yes. Supergirl, definitely down for that. Swamp Thing, absolutely down for Swamp Thing, man. Absolutely down for Swamp Thing. Green Lanterns, of course I'm down for Green Lantern, man. Superman Legacy. Let's see what the actual synopsis of Superman Legacy says. Gunn previously revealed a young Superman movie will be called, and when he says young, I think he means younger. So y'all need to calm down. Superman Legacy, it will be released on July 11th, 2025. So, I mean, that must mean they have faith in the project. It was coming out smack dab in the middle of summer, and it does not have a director yet. Safran said that this is really the start of the DCU. It's not an origin story. It focuses on Superman balancing his Krypton heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. You know, something that they don't use anymore. He's kindness in the world, and thinks kindness is old-fashioned. Sounds like Superman to me. We got a super chat coming from Syrup Sailor. Hope you're not too sticky there, Syrup. And he says, Waller and Creature Commandos are in Monsters and Gods, though I don't think they actually contribute to the new DC. I think they're just tied up to the old ones. I agree with that statement. And what I mean by I agree with that statement is this. Um, in the slate that he announced, I mean James Gunn here, he basically said Flash is gonna be the end, and then it won't really start. It won't really start until Superman Legacy. So I think like Waller and all that, those gonna be side things, man. Those are all gonna be side things, right? If I can bring up the thing here again. If I can bring up the thing here, and I don't know if like I need an actual slate. Like, does someone actually have a graphic DCU chapter 1 slate? Like, I want a graphic of everything. If I can find like the actual graphic, because I guess that's a little better. That's not what I'm really looking for. I want like an actual slate of everything. What's up with all these little ass texts, man? So, Creatures and Commandos, the very first project in the DCU slate, Creatures and Commandos, and the animated short. So right away, I think animated, that's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to watch it. Waller, starring Viola Davis. So Viola Davis is reprising a role in the series, continues the story from James Gunn's Peacemakers and blah blah blah. With Gunn at work right now. So Superman Legacy is where it's going to start. So these two projects right here, I don't think it's going to affect the major thing. We know Blue Beetle is going to take place after Flashpoint, I believe he said. And then we got Aquaman. But Flashpoint is the reset part of the DC universe. It's gonna be Flashpoint, and then Creatures, Commandos, and Waller. It's gonna be like throwaway stuff, you know. And then Superman Legacy is gonna be the starting point. That's gonna be our Iron Man 1. And then Lanterns is gonna be great. The Authority, I don't know anything about. I wasn't a big Wildstorm comic fan as a kid. I bought them because their covers look cool and they're usually holographic. Paradise Lost is going to be fantastic. You know, Wonder Woman, Game of Thrones. Come on, bro. It's an island of all chicks, dude. There's going to be all kinds of pie eating on there. The Brave and the Bold. This is probably the most anticipated film I'm looking forward to, just because of my love for Damian Wayne. But I do want them to change the title. Either call it The Dark Knight, The Brave and the Bold, or something like that. They're trying to keep it away from Matt Reeves' Batman. They don't want to call it The Batman and Batman Brave and the Bold. People are going to get the things mixed up. But I do believe once Matt Reeves' Batman movies are done, they're not going to continue on with that franchise. We got a super chat real quick. Let me get to this super chat. And this comes from Nana. $5. Do you think it's smart to build a universe around Superman, not Batman? Give it more human perspective. I think it absolutely is smarter to build it around Superman. And but the way I look at that is when James Gunn announced the slate, I look at it as it's going to revolve around Batman and Superman. And what I mean by that, is, hold on a second. DC has been. And what I mean by that is that with James Gunn's announcement here, right? What he says really is, well, Superman Legacy is going to be the starting point, right? Superman Legacy is going to be the starting point, and then we're going to like move on to like Batman Brave and the Bold and all that stuff, right? So what I honestly think is going to happen is Superman is going to be the launch pad, is going to be the Iron Man, right? And then Batman is going to be like the Captain America, where really for the first 3 phases, it was all about Iron Man, all about Captain America. They're going to build around that. But you have to get Superman right. And the problem with the DCEU, and although there's a lot of Henry Cavill fans and a lot of Man of Steel fans, is there was a lot of people, a lot of average people that did not like Man of Steel and the interpretation of Superman. I was one of them. Like, it took me years before I finally accepted, okay, this is this version of Superman, right? But like a Superman that would sit there and just have no problem with people just dying around him and all that stuff, right? And then Henry Cavill has came out in many interviews and said, I don't like this interpretation of Superman. I want to do a different interpretation of Superman. So I think it's smart because even though Superman is an alien, he is more human than Batman. He is way more human than Batman. Batman has lost himself in this. His mind is gone. You know, he had his parents gunned down in front of him. Like, he is completely wacko. Superman is the human element to the DC universe, regardless of him being an alien or not. So thank you so much for that super chat. Hopefully that answered your question. Token in the house throwing a $2 super chat. He has to win everyone over with the new Superman, and I think that's going to be the thing. But here's the thing. And I want to make this very, very clear. Right? He doesn't have to win everyone over. He just has to win over the average Joe out on the street. Right? I've said this yesterday that yeah, Gunn is writing Superman, and Gunn is a fantastic writer. So I don't know what the issue is with that. So I don't know what those emojis are for. James Gunn is a fantastic writer. Here is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, right? All these people doing hashtag Snyderverse, hashtag hire, Henry Cavill, hashtag fire James Gunn. All the people that go to the movies, that's like 5% of those people. So you don't need to focus on those people, the loud people, what I like to call the keyboard warriors, the keyboard warriors. You don't need to focus on those people, right? Because if you lose 5% of those people, then whatever. What you need to focus on is the average person. Like, the average person isn't on YouTube all day or going on superhero websites or doing all. The average person isn't that. The average common working person, the kids that go to high school, the kids that hang out with their friends and they go to malls, and the people that work for a living and they want to go see a movie, that is all you need to focus on, right? People do not care. So when you're sitting here going, like, restore the Snyderverse, well, you got Henry Cavill back in Black Adam, and nobody went to go see that movie. You know what? Because the average person does not care. They seen Henry Cavill in these other movies, and they did not like those other movies. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks. And the funny thing is, I was reading the comments in my video yesterday, and everybody's like, Rob, you're never going to build your channel because you always talk bad to your subscribers. I wasn't talking bad to the subscribers at all. I wasn't attacking no one in yesterday's video. I was talking about those keyboard warriors, those dingle hopper brain dead SOBs that continue to put hashtag restore the Snyderverse, fire James Gunn, blah, 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 do this, do that. I'm talking about those people. So if those people are the ones that are upset and said I was coming after them, then yes, I was coming after you brain dead imbeciles. But I'm talking about the average person that actually stops and they think and they come up with rational, intelligent conclusions to certain things. Look, I've said it before. I had Poetic Gangster in the comments yesterday going, Rob, you didn't mention nothing, this and this and this, and Man of Steel made this much money and blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, did you even listen to the video before you posted a comment? I fully acknowledge how much money Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman made. What I said in that video was very simply this, that Man of Steel and BVS, both those films did not make the amount of box office revenue that the studio had wanted to see from it. The studio had put a lot of resources and time in a movie with Batman vs. Superman, and they wanted to see a better return. The movie made money. Don't get me wrong. The movie made a lot of money. It did not make the type of money that Warner Brothers wanted to see the movie made. You literally had Batman v Superman and Captain America Civil War in the same exact year. Which one outperformed the other?
And what I said in that video was very simply, after BVS, with the exception of Wonder Woman and Aquaman, every DCEU movie since then has been in a down spiral. And when you're looking at analytics and you're looking at your costs and revenue and all that stuff, you want to see the pie graph go up. You want to see it go up. You don't want to see it going down. Okay? So you have to sit there and put that in account. So when you look at something like Black Adam, you bring back Henry Cavill for Black Adam, right? So the fans got what they want. Henry Cavill's back, right? Go support that movie now. Go support that. If Black Adam would have made $800 million, we would not be having this conversation today, right? The fact of the matter is very simply this. People, the majority of the normal movie-going audience, look at Henry Cavill and they go, hey, he's associated with these movies. We don't like those movies, so we're not going to go see this movie. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. But people on YouTube think I'm talking about them when I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about those keyboard warriors, those nipple-licking, titty-sucking mother effers who constantly go on YouTube and all this other stuff, trying to restore this Snyderverse crap, bring back Henry Cavill, when you guys didn't go support it. And what I mean you didn't go support it is there's not enough of you guys to go support it. Your mouth is bigger than your wallet. You cannot sit there and put a movie on higher than $1 billion at the box office. You need to rely on the average movie-going audience, and the average movie-going audience does not like this interpretation of what's going on with DC, so you have no choice to reboot it. Why would you reboot it with Henry Cavill? That's what I keep hearing. You could have rebooted it with Henry Cavill. Well, obviously, you didn't pay attention to anything I just said, because people look at Henry Cavill and they identify him with the old DC universe, which we already established many different ways why it did not work. So why are you going to reboot something with a character that people already identify as a failing franchise? What sense does that make? That's like rebooting a restaurant and keeping all the same staff, all the same menu, all the same man. It doesn't make any sense. We changed the name, but it's still the same shitty-ass one-star restaurant you guys have been eating at for years. It makes no sense. And for anybody who actually thinks otherwise, you really need to do something like some soul searching, because anybody with even an average level of intelligence and IQ can look at this and see it's not working. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But the fan base loves him, man. So let's continue it. Yet the fan base isn't the one supporting the films. So anyway, we got a big super chat here that I want to get to. My glasses got spit all over it. Oh my God, just some geeky guy. So some geek guy threw in $10 super chat. So let me get this straight. You said that the Snyder fans are just loud minorities, but accept a tiny minority to be numerous enough to prevent blockbusters from bombing. A blockbuster from bombing. How does that work exactly? Let me see if I can break down what you're actually trying to say. You're saying that the Snyder fans are just a loud minority. Yes, I did. I stand by that. I think I've been proven correct on that. But accept a tiny minority to be numerous enough to prevent a blockbuster from bombing. So what I think you're trying to say is, No, that's proving my point, geeky guy. That's proving my point. That's exactly my point I'm trying to prove. Here's the thing. I've said from the longest time that these diehard Snyderverse fans, right, are nothing but a very loud but very small group of the average overall fan base. And what I say is, yes, it prevents the blockbusters from performing. And what I mean by that is it actually proves the point I'm trying to make, that if the loud fan base was actually bigger, if the loud fan base was as big as it is, right? Because we see it all the time, right? People are talking about it all the time, right? So what I'm saying is, so it seems bigger than it actually is. It's really just a small minority of people, right? So let's say, let's try to hit it under numbers, right? Let's say 1 through 100. That's our number range, right? 1 through 100 equals the overall fan base that goes to movies, right? So let's say 1 through 100, everybody goes to the movies, okay? And let's say 1 through 100 is they all go to superhero movies, okay? So let's say the Snyderverse fans overall is, how am I going to break this down? Okay, so 1 through 100 are moviegoer fans, okay? So let's say 1 through 70 are superhero fans, right? They go see every movie that comes out that's superhero related. So that means that 30% are just movie-going audience, right? They don't go see superhero stuff. Maybe if it catches their eye, they'll go see it. But basically, 70% of the movie-going audience go see superhero movies, right? Well, let's say that 5% is the Snyderverse, okay, fans. And what I mean by that is they're loud. They're they're always on doing videos. They're always posting stuff like that. Right, I say it's like 5%. It could be like 10%, whatever you want to say. So that means 10% out of 70%, is the Snyderverse, fan base. So okay, so now we're taking like 40% of the situation. So what I'm saying is they're loud and they're small and they can't support the blockbusters. That was the point I was trying to make. So you kind of proved my point in your statement. You said that the Snyderverse is just loud minority, but I don't expect them to support it. I was proving my point. I never expected them to support it. So you kind of proved my point there in your statement. So it's almost like I said, I got a hurt leg, right? And I tell like somebody, oh, my leg is hurt. Right, and they're like, well, run, and then I go to run and I fall. Well, it ain't that they expected me to run. It's like they expected me to fall because I said my leg hurt. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's a small minority. I'm not expecting them. I said what I'm saying is almost like reverse psychology. If you guys are so big and there's so many of you fans, then you should be able to support these movies, but you can't. So it proves my point that they are nothing but a small minority of people. So basically what your statement is that you just wrote is basically just proving my point. So I want to thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the super chat, and I appreciate you for helping me even further my point that I already made, because you basically just proved my point. So it's exactly what I'm trying to say. So yes, you guys are a small minority of people with very, very loud vocal range. You guys hit Twitter, you hit social media, you hit YouTube, you make your point very, very clear. But at the end of the day, you guys aren't large enough to support a movie on your own. Hence the reason why the DCEU is in the shambles that it is, and hence the reason why it's also being rebooted. Because you just proved my point. You are small and loud, but you are not big enough in order to support a movie. And that's why you guys are small and loud. You guys don't equal the 70 to 75% of the average movie-going audience that actually supports these movies, that don't watch every trailer or every clip or read every leak or do all that. People are going to see the movies just because they see one trailer and they're good. Like, oh, that looks good, I'm going to go see it. But all the people that does what we do, doing videos, watching social media stuff, Twitter, all this stuff, man, that's like 10% of the movie audience. And then you take the Snyderverse, that's like 5% of the average movie-going audience. So you can't keep doing the same thing when it comes to the DCEU. You can't bring Henry Cavill back. You can't. And I see people going, well, you can bring Henry Cavill back, but you can't do that, but you can bring Ezra Miller back. There has never been any confirmation, 100% confirmation that Ezra Miller is coming back. And again, I go back to the minority thing. We know everything that Ezra Miller has done because we are in this little bubble, this minority bubble, and we see and hear all the stupid things this guy's done. The average movie-going audience, the 75 to 80% range of people that go see these movies have no idea who Ezra Miller is or anything he's done in his actual life. They seen him in Justice League, and that was all they saw him in. They have no idea what happened in personal life. That's facts. That is facts. That is 100% facts. You might not like the facts, but that doesn't change the fact that these are facts that I'm spitting. And you cannot have Henry Cavill come back as Superman because he's established very much so as Superman. And people are like, we don't like that. You cannot have a restaurant close down, open up a week later with the same staff, same management, and the same exact food and expect it to be successful. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. Some geek guy doing another $5 super chat. That's like saying that Sony canceled the Amazing Spider-Man franchise was because the loud minority of Amazing Spider-Man fans did not support enough. That's a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing. The Amazing Spider-Man franchise was canceled because of the Sony hacked leaks, and then Disney being in contract with them, they wanted to go a different route. Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 made a decent amount of money. It made a lot of money. It didn't crack $1 billion, but it made a lot of money. But just like BVS, it wasn't the type of money that Sony was looking for. Sony wasn't happy with that number, right? Let me see if I can look up the actual box office for Amazing Spider-Man. It made a lot of money. I want to say it was like 700 mil, a little north of 700 mil. Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man made $708 million. $708 million. It's good money. It's really good. Wasn't what Sony was looking for. So just like BVS, Sony wanted something a little more. And what happened was the Sony leaks started happening because they were having problems with their Men in Black franchise. They were having problems with all these franchises, right? They were going to do a Men in Black meets 21 Jump Street movie. It was all kinds of stuff. The email leaks, the phone leaks, everything came out. And Sony was in shambles, and they didn't know what to do. So Disney said, hey, we got the MCU going on. Let's do this little, work thing together. And they did. And Sony wanted to keep Andrew Garfield and keep that Spider-Man. But Disney was the one that said, no, we need to go in a different direction. Much like, guess what? The DCEU and the James Gunn DCU situation, where yes, a lot of people wanted to keep that iteration of the DCEU, but James Gunn's like, no, we really need to go in a different direction. Then what happened? Then Spider-Man Homecoming came out, and then Far From Home reached $1 billion. Then No Way Home reached over $1 billion, and it's because they changed what was going on. Just because they changed something doesn't mean you have to stop liking the thing that already made. The problem was you have to look at the circumstances of what's going on. Amazing Spider-Man 2 did pretty well at the box office, but due to the situation of what's going on, you can't introduce Andrew Garfield into the MCU because the Amazing Spider-Man universe doesn't fit into the MCU. So they created a new Spider-Man. They went younger with Tom Holland, and they created a new version of Spider-Man. And guess what? Later on, they brought Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back. It's like, who knows? Maybe they'll do Crisis on Infinite Worlds or Infinite Earths or whatever, and they bring Henry Cavill back for Superman in one of those movies. Just right now, you have to change the image of what's going on moving forward. You have to change your image. In order to change your image, you have to be able to reinvent it, right? So, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it, and I stand strongly on that. You got through another $10 super chat. If you're admitting that the general audience is what's carrying the franchise, then the general audience loves Snyder's vision. That's not true. The audience gave Snyder DC film great reviews. You cannot go by... Dude, the average audience doesn't do reviews. You're proving my point. The average audience don't do reviews. Again, the people that are going on Rotten Tomatoes and doing fan reviews and doing YouTube reviews and going on Twitter writing how great something is, that's not the average audience. The average audience goes to a movie with their family, with their loved ones, their date or whatever. They go see the movie, then they go home and they talk about it with their friends. They don't go home and they go, okay, let's go on Rotten Tomatoes. Man, BVS was the greatest movie ever. Man of Steel. No, you're proving my point within your statement. Okay, the average audience doesn't do reviews. That again, that's a very small niche of people. That's like 10% of the ongoing audience. You're literally proving my point. You're literally proving my point in your comment. The fact that you said that again even proves my point. It really does. You have to understand we live in a bubble. This, what I do with everything, that's not what the normal average person does. They see a commercial on TV or they see a trailer, they go see the movie, they either see it by themselves, they see it with their girlfriend or boyfriend or their kids and family, and then they come home and then they go on with their day. They don't think about the movie again unless they go see it again. They're not sitting there going, oh man, I gotta go on phone and go, hey guys, I just saw this movie. They don't go, hey guys, I just saw this movie. Oh my god, let me upload this to Twitter. Let me upload. They don't do that. That's not what average people do. So you're saying that yes, the general audience carries the franchise. Then the general audience loved the Snyder version. They gave the Snyder version great films, great reviews. No, again, that's your minority of people doing that because the average person doesn't do reviews. The average person doesn't even go on Rotten Tomatoes. Like people, like you ask someone on like you go on Rotten Tomatoes, see what's something like what wrong what, you know, people don't do that. The people don't do that. The average movie-going audience does not sit there and like write an essay on Rotten Tomatoes for reviews or Metacritic or any other site or do YouTube videos. So again, thank you so much for proving my point. I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're back because you have been proving my point through this entire stream. It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. Always School said, see, if you were still doing Storm Nation with me, this would have been a great topic for a discussion. Always go through in a $5 super chat. I want Brainiac to be the main villain in Legacy. Here's what I think is gonna happen. Okay, I was talking to Adam about this. A little while ago today. And this is my theory. And it's just my theory. Okay, I don't have a way to go about it. But so they're introducing Superman Legacy, right? Superman Legacy, and then toward the end, they're introducing Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So what I think is going to happen, if you guys ever read the Grant Morrison Superman comic with Brainy, Superman kind of meets up with Kara, and Kara tells him about this Brainiac who bottled up Kendor and all this stuff, and he's coming for Earth. So Superman was established, and then Supergirl was established. And then they did a crossover event, and they actually made an animated movie of it. It's called Superman Unbound. You guys can probably, I think it's on HBO Max, Superman Unbound. Watch it. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to introduce this new Superman, right? Don't know. I don't know. It said Superman. What's Superman's legacy going to be based off of? I don't think they said what Superman's legacy is going to be based off of. He just says James Gunn is writing it. It's not based off a certain comic. But I think they're going to introduce Superman, and then toward the end, they're going to introduce Supergirl. So now we have both these characters introduced. And I wouldn't be surprised either at the end of Superman or the end of Supergirl, there might be a post-credit scene where you see like Brainiac's ship coming to Earth or something. And I think Kara's going to meet up with Superman and like, hey man, like this shit's gonna go down, like this guy has done this and this. So I feel like Brainiac is gonna be like a second film or a team-up film. I don't think they're gonna introduce Brainiac in the very first movie. I think that would be a disservice to Brainiac. I don't think they're gonna do Zod either. I really want them to do something more like Superman Earth 1. This was the alien species that was coming to Earth to try to basically beat down all the or Kal-El, the last son of Krypton. I really want to see him do something like this, like Superman Earth 1. Really, really big fan of this comic. It's like really good. And then save Brainiac for like the second movie or something. You want to build up to that. That's something that DC really hasn't been doing, is building up to those. I want to see them build up to Brainiac. Don't just put him in the first movie, because you gotta build up to him, man. You gotta do the man's service. You gotta do the dude's service, you know. But yes, I would love to see Brainiac. I'm trying to remember who the villains were in all the the Earth One novels. The first one was the Alien. The second one is Parasite, and then the third one I want to say is Zod. Earth One Volume 3. Let me see. Volume 3. I think it was Zod. I don't remember. Fill in. Yes, it was Zod. And I think you can introduce Zod like later on. I don't think you got to keep introducing Zod in like every first movie. Like it kind of gets like ridiculous. Like, man, every time you turn around, there's Zod again. Like he always keeps coming back. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I do like the DC slate. I like what they're doing. Not everything, like Creatures Commandos doesn't really thrill me all that much. Waller doesn't thrill me that much. Superman Legacy, big thrill. Lanterns, big thrill. The Authority, I don't know. I got to see how. I never read Wildstorm. Paradise Lost, I'm really looking forward to. This is my all-time looking forward to because of Damian Wayne. Booster Gold, this is something I would give a shot, but I'm not really expecting much. And then Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to. I'm actually thinking about reading that Tom King run. And then you got Swamp Thing, which again I'm looking really forward to. So overall, I'm really looking forward to a lot of this stuff that James Gunn is putting out there. So hopefully everything's good. Rebel Moon does look good. No, I think Rebel Moon looks good. Despite the contrary, I am a big Zack Snyder fan. Like Watchmen is still my favorite movie, still my favorite comic movie of all time. So I am a big Rebel Moon fan or Zack Snyder fan. I'm gonna put in a 10-minute warning, guys, and then I'm gonna head out. But this has been fun, man. We had to do this for a while, and it's really cool, man, because got some good discussions going on. So that's pretty dope. I'm happy. We have really good discussions going on. We got a super chat coming from Oe, and Oe said, Blue Beetle is canon to the new universe. Yes, but Blue Beetle is not on the slate, as you can see. But it is because I guess the movie was filmed in a way that it doesn't contradict anything in the new universe. Almost like Shazam doesn't really contradict anything in the new universe. So I mean, basically, Shazam doesn't contradict anything in the new universe because he has no interaction with anything in the new universe. There is the end credit scene with Superman, but how many people have seen that end credit scene and they didn't have Superman's face on there? So, yeah. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. You guys said big Snyder fan, but refuses to blame the studio for causing the Snyderverse ending because the studio meddled with his version. I never refused to say that. I mentioned that plenty of times in previous videos and live streams. Man of Steel. Here's the thing: Man of Steel came out. Man of Steel was very divisive, man. It was. I mean, that's just the facts. People love it now. Hell, I love it now. But when it first came out, it was very divisive by a lot of people. It was a very divisive movie. Then BVS came out, and I said right off the bat, that movie was messed up by the studio. The studio went in there, made Zack cut out a bunch of stuff of the movie, and they cut out all the important parts of the movie. And then the best version was the ultimate version, which is a night and day compared to the theatrical version. Like, I can't watch the theatrical version. The theatrical version is unwatchable because they cut out all the important parts. Right, so I absolutely blame the studio for what they did. They ruined BVS 100%. But at the same time, you gotta put some blame on Zack Snyder. Why are you making a 3-hour Batman v Superman movie? Why are you having so convoluted at the same time? Zack Snyder always makes big movies with big stories and convoluted all the time, right? Like look, like there's like a 4-hour cut of Watchmen, you know? So he really went through and really convoluted a lot of stuff in BVS that really didn't need to be convoluted. Like, for example, and people can throw this back all they want to, but you know, the whole setting up the Justice League with the laptop with all the little mini trailers of all the characters, that wasn't necessary for the plot. That could have been taken out. The whole nightmare sequences, that wasn't necessary to the plot. That could have been taken out. That's all stuff that's setting up for later movies, but it's nothing that drives the plot of that movie forward. So again, that all could have been taken out. If you would have taken out all the absolutely unnecessary stuff and kept in the actual good stuff that, you know, furthers the plot, explains what's going on, then you have a very clean cut movie. I still think the majority of the majority of the movie-going audience would find it very bleak. I actually love the Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. It's probably, I would say it's probably next to Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, my favorite DC movie, DCEU movie. I absolutely like it. But again, Snyder went above and beyond trying to do all kinds of weird things that the studio wasn't really happy for. And then he started doing the same thing in Justice League. Then we all know about his tragic thing with his daughter, and then they just quietly let him go. And then he wrapped everything up in his version of the director's cut. Look, I'm not going to sit here and try to go back and forth with a Snyder fan about all this. The facts of the matter is, I have facts on my side that state why they had to do a reboot. That's all factual information that I've put out. Okay, why and all these different reasons for it's their own thing. Look, you can be a fan of something and know you got Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and the Snyder Cut. And those 4 movies all work fantastic. Just be happy you got 4 really good movies and then just move on. So yeah, it is what it is. There's not one person to blame for what happened to DCEU. There's a lot of things to blame. And for the longest time, I had a character that I did a skit called David P. Dumbass, where he played a DC executive because they were so dumb in the way things were doing. They're greenlighting all these movies that make zero sense. Warner Brothers was so reactionary about everything that every time something happened, they were reactionary. And what happened was they built themselves into this corner where basically they ruined their own franchise by being so reactionary. That was the biggest problem, was them being so reactionary. Would have things turned out better if Snyder was able to do his full version? We'll never know. But the one thing is that the studio was 100% reactionary. And the average movie-going audience did not like what Zack Snyder was doing. So there was a lot of stuff going on. We've seen the same thing happen with Star Wars, where we had Force Awakens, we had Last Jedi. People hated Last Jedi, and then the studio got completely reactionary, and then we got Rise of Skywalker, which tried to be reactionary to everything. Oh, we gotta make Rey someone strong. Oh, we gotta give her the Reylo thing. We gotta do this. We gotta explain that. And it was way too reactionary, and it was a really bad product overall. So yeah, that's just what happens. Studios are reactionary a lot, and it ruins franchises. And sometimes directors get way in over their head, and it also there's plenty of blame to go around. So, with that said, I'm gonna get ready to head out. Red X said Snyder fans are delusional. No, here's the thing: Snyder fans are passionate, and they don't want us to have an actual discussion. They just want to play the blame game. And then they want to take your words and they want to twist their words to fit their narrative. Just like way up here, I had the super chat, or if it's still here. It was this one right here, where they took my words, but they actually proved my point. So this super chat says, so let me get this straight. You said the Snyder fans are just a loud minority, but you expect a minority to save blockbusters. No, you're proving my point. you're proving that they are a small minority and they don't have the ability to save a blockbuster from bombing because they are in fact a small minority. So stuff like that, where you just get Snyder fans like this and they don't want to actually have a nice calm discussion. They just want to sit here and try to take words and twist them around and try to like make it sound like they're right all the time when they can't. Look, here's the thing. I don't work for Warner Brothers. I don't work for Zack Snyder, right? I can literally be biased or unbiased and say there was a lot of blame on both sides. A lot of blame on both sides. Plenty of blame to go around. But at the end of the day, everybody's blaming James Gunn, and this is just a guy coming in a very bad situation who's trying to fix it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching. Thank you all for everything. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate all of you. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Good night.